if you were scammed at some point, it's okay. We won't laugh at you. It's a safe space. At least you'll be helping us to raise awareness this morning, but also just trying by all means to position you even for the future in case you may find yourself here. So, yeah, the guys are here. They're in studio, Lebo and Neo. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Katleho. Also, good morning to the listeners. I'm really excited about today's topic. As you did mention, it's all about awareness.
Yeah, let's raise awareness as much as we can because indeed these things are happening, right? Lebo, when you look at the fact that it's a moving really space, right? Where year in, year out, there are people that are looking for property, be it student accommodation, be it someone moving and changing careers, be it moving into different locations and positions of your life, you're downgrading or you're upgrading and everything else in between. You do then find yourself extremely vulnerable. We always appreciate your contribution here on the show. Yeah.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much to also the team, man.
Is this a thing?
Really
You know, this the scamming.
Yes. So the scamming is a thing, and people really need to be aware of what is actually happening on the ground in terms of people being scammed from rentals.
And how does one actually go into this one? Is it because often then it will be those that are curious, those that are inquisitive, that would tend to ask these things. And even when you ask for these things, you tend to see the person, the service provider, whoever, frowning a bit, not comfortable to say how. All of a sudden you're asking me about my credibility now. It's like you are, I'm here to do the work. So how do we actually find ourselves with this information, and maybe what are the do's and the don'ts of some of these people when they are out there selling these properties?
Yeah, so it's within everybody's right to ask for information from the person that's the service provider, right? So say for instance, if I'm going to be helping someone to get a property to rent out, it's within that person's right to ask me that, okay, can I please see, or can I please get your FFC number, or get my full name and surname and search if I am actually registered with the FFC. So I think the only problem is that the people don't have information in terms of what due diligence should I be doing before I buy or before I rent out a property. And now with some people, they'll say some stuff like you need to ask for the landlord's what's this ID, of which most of the time it won't happen. So as someone that wants to rent out a property, you find yourself in a situation whereby you want to verify if this is true. However, there are sometimes whereby landlords are saying that I will not give you my ID. So now it ends up becoming that kind of situation. But what I would say is that if you are going to be renting out a property, just make sure that the person that's renting, or the service provider, the estate agent, is registered with the FFC. So now how to search that? You just go onto the FFC website, and then you can put their full names and surname, and then if they are registered, they should actually pop up.
And also at the same time, I mean, you see a lot of people saying that there would be those people that would want to go at it directly, right? You wouldn't want to involve the middleman, this being the estate agent. You would just see that there's an advert here, and then I'm going at it, and I'm approaching whoever I'm approaching, directly to say that this is what I'm interested in. I'd like to go into this one. Would this be an advisable way of doing it, or you would say that for you to find yourself maybe not in a stressful position with you being scammed, you would need to do that due diligence, maybe try to find people that would help you in this kind of space, and do you find that it's often about the cost of this person that would come through as a middleman that maybe would motivate people going at it alone, or do you find that maybe it is how the property is advertised that people would then find themselves navigating and approaching these matters in this manner?
Going to this alone, we need to understand the dynamics of this, Katleho, because when it comes to property, we can have more than one owner.
And also now we can even have a situation whereby the person that's living in that property is not even the owner. So if I don't know how to verify that information, again, it puts me at high risk. And as you did even mention how this space is becoming sophisticated, is that even now in your Airbnbs, when we're talking about rentals, you're finding holiday homes whereby you saw something in Cape Town for, let's just say that 20,000, and you are really excited about it on the internet. You find out that yes, the price might be relatively low. However, now you found yourself in a situation whereby it was not it, man.
Would you say that also there would be syndicates that would be, more or less operating within this space, those that would come through to impersonate, agents, those that would come through to advertise properties that are not even there, that are fake? Do you find that people also are taking advantage of technology as well, in terms of ensuring that they push this thing, they lure you in, they kind of convince you, they start advertising student properties, even way before the year starts, so that they know that there are people, they're promising you, they gain this element of trust with you. Come January, you're frustrated here and you are worried because these people, it was a genuine person that you were talking to. They were showing you photos, things were moving the way that they're moving. And what is the danger again of not going to view yourself? In this day and age, because with technology, one could say that, I can always send you the photos. I can always show you. I can take a tour. I can actually take videos and show you that this is the property and the likes. What then become the danger of some of these issues as we approach them in that manner?
So I'd like to just give you a short story, right, of what has happened to one of the guys. So he had a tenant and the tenant was moving out. So now the tenant was advertising the property as Gumtree. And then when the people would come through, he'd say that he's the owner. And then he took the deposit and the 1 month rental of that particular property. Now, the question was that, was there a way of that person verifying if he is or he is not the owner? So that's where it becomes a bit of a problem, or it becomes a bit tricky, that how do we make sure that that person is indeed the owner?
So it's impersonating. So it's a thing. It's either you're impersonating the agent to say that I'm the agent and I'm the middleman here, or I'm the owner of this property in a way that people then would not know indeed if this is true. So if that is the case, the impersonation, is it a matter of saying, show me your card again, then I know who you are? Is it a matter of you saying, show me the title deed, that I understand that indeed you are the owner of this property, or just taking it as it is, that, this person indeed, I am going with my gut, that this person, they dress smart, they do look like they own this property.
So now remember, if you are the owner, it becomes hard, because what card are you going to be showing to the person that, okay, this is my property? So what I feel comfortable with going out, especially looking at rental, you'd look at your more reputable websites, so such as like your Property 24, your private property, or maybe your estate agencies that have properties that are actually listed on their website. So now the problem is that some websites are not, you don't verify when you do put your property on that place. So for example, like Facebook Marketplace, you don't really put there is no way of verifying that is that person the owner. So what I would say is that if you are going to be renting out the property, just try to find a reputable website whereby you know that verification was actually done before advertising.
Awesome. Just a reminder to our listeners at home that we're in conversation this morning with Lebo and Neo Nong. They're here in studio just talking all things property. And this morning we're raising awareness around some of the scams that are becoming so prevalent, and a lot of people that are in the receiving end of some of these developments. And if you have a story to share, if you want to pick our brain on some of these issues, you're welcome to do so. We have 10 minutes left of the show here on 0861 187 000. I want us to go back to that issue of viewing, because now you've mentioned it, Lebo, that with the Facebook Marketplace and all of these other spaces where people are now using technology. It's a prudent way of doing things. I mean, we're moving with the times, but there's a danger as well there, with one then just taking things at face value. We go into the website. It's a perfectly curated website. They've advertised there, and you like, listen, this is it. This is my property. The grass is cut. Everything looks proper. And you're expecting that what you see on the picture would be exactly what you're going for, only to find that it's a disappointment. So how important is it that you go at this every step of the way? Or maybe you can even break down those steps to say that practically this is how you should go about it. Do I pick it up that is advertised, I verify that indeed it's available, and then is it important that I go view this property before I even start making some money or transactions?
Yeah. So definitely it starts with using those reputable companies, as we did mention the two, right? And then once you find that with the estate agent, as Lebo did mention, that you can go to the website and put the estate agent's name and surname. And then once you actually find that, that's when you then want to go through to the property itself and see it. But I'd also like to actually highlight one of the things whereby we get caught out, right? As people that want to rent or even buy. You see, when you start seeing rentals that are abnormal, whereby let's just say in that area property, the 2 bedrooms are going for 13,000. All of a sudden you see this one for 7,000. It is going to catch your attention. But now the question is, why is that one 7,000, man?
So should you wonder and be that curious? Because we're vulnerable, right? We are just going in there excited. We are going in there desperate. We're looking at saving where we can. So you need to question as much as you can. So I wanted to understand this issue of upfront payment. Is it a thing? Do I need to pay that upfront payment? And how does it go about? When someone starts demanding an upfront payment, should we read that as a red flag of some sort to say that no, don't go? There's something wrong with this person, especially when they start asking for monies. And we have not even sealed the deal here, but you're already seeing people asking for money. How do we go about this one?
Okay, so in terms of upfront fees, right? The only time you should actually be paying the deposit, the first month's rental and admin cost sometimes, is when you have viewed the property, when they have actually vetted you, and once you have actually have the lease agreement. So now saying that someone needs to pay an upfront fee before they actually view the property, that's a no-no.
We're out of time, gents. I want us to wrap it up. Please give us your parting shot, but also details around how do people go about it in sourcing out assistance to avoid being scammed in this particular manner.
Okay. From my side, but what's important is due diligence. Like one of the examples that I've seen, which was really bad, was that let's just say that you're buying a property for 1 million. Do not just send that 1 million as one go. What you can do is that you can send even 1,000. Call the lawyer and say that, did you receive the 1,000? Then once they give you a thumbs up, then proceed with it.
Sure. Yeah.
From my side, I think the story that we just had, man, there was no way that you could have actually saw. So it was just going to be that thing, your gut feeling. I just need to listen to my
trust
gut.
your feeling, your gut feeling. Who are you guys? How do we connect people with you guys?
So on all social media platforms, it's at Nongwealth.
Awesome. Level, Nell, thank you very much for coming through.
Much appreciated.
Awesome. Oleboreng No and Lebo. Oleboreng Dong and Nell Nong here in studio. Lebo and Nell just coming through here as property investors and founders of Nongwealth, just raising awareness this morning around these property scams. And I'm hoping that you guys would approach this one differently and better, wisely, as you go into just acquiring your property or renting or anything else in between. Let's do it again tomorrow.